Greetings, this is Beautiful Mind, and this question comes in. It says, find the measures of two angles, one positive and one negative, that are coterminal with pi over 5. Two angles, one positive and one negative, that have the same end side with pi over 5. Let me convert pi over 5 to degrees just so then I can visualize that a lot better. So then if we say pi over 5, so if I have radians on top, I'm going to say times 180 degrees over pi, all right? So then the units of radians are going to cancel and the pi cancels. So then we'll be left with degrees, and we say 180 divided by 5. 5 into 18 is 3. We have a remainder of 3. 5 into 30 is 6. So this is going to be, so this is 36 degrees. So, you know, if we're looking at the graph, just a quick sketch. Let's go like this, I guess. All right. So, say this is the positive x, positive y. Now, if we're at 36 degrees, that's 45. So 36 is about here. I'm just doing an approximation, right? Something like that. Now we want a positive angle, so the positive needs to be counterclockwise, coterminal. So that means that their final angle. So we need one angle that starts from 0 and goes this way and stops there. Find the measure of two angles, one positive and one negative. And then, so you need a negative angle that starts at 0 and goes this direction and finishes here. So when they add together, they give us 36. So all right, so we got something. So we need one angle plus a second angle to total 36. We need x to be positive, and then to get the other one, we could just say, so then that means that y is going to be 360. If you start at that angle and subtract, go a negative 360, so y is going to be x minus 360 degrees, right? So if you start with your angle that's a positive 36 and then subtract 360 degrees, you should be back to that same angle, right? Because you did a complete revolution. So then if we plug this in, we need, so that means we're going to get x plus, but y is going to be x minus 360, and we want that to total 36. So then we'll have 2x minus 360 equals 36, right? So that means 2x is going to be, if you add 360, that's 396. And you divide by 2, x is going to be, let me see, that's a 1, 19, that's a 9, that's a 1, 16, that's 8. So if x is 198 degrees, right, then that means y is going to be the 198 minus 360, which is going to be, so we know the answer is going to be negative, and we just need to say the 360 minus the 198. So that becomes a 5, that's 10, that's 2, that's 2, that's 15, that's a 6, and a 1, 162. So negative 162 degrees. Coterminal. Ow. Oh. Coterminal. Is that correct? So then we need to confirm that these angles are indeed coterminal and that they add up to 36 degrees. Okay, so that just means they're essentially the same angle. So is 198 the same as a negative 162? Okay, so 198, let me see. So that's 90, that's 180. So 198 is over here in quadrant 2. Okay, yeah. So in other words, let me see. Yeah, when we add them together, we should get a positive 36. And then if we go through a full revolution, we should be at one or the other. I think this is fine. Because negative 90 is at the bottom, negative 180 is too far, so they're both in quadrant 3. Mm-hmm. The difference is 36 degrees. Mm-hmm. And the coterminal. This is about the best I can do. So I'll leave this one here. If there are any changes or errors or anything, just kind of update me, and we'll kind of go. We might go live with this one. But I got the angles of 198 and a negative 162. Mm-hmm. Let me think about it one more time. So 198. If that was 180, that's 18 away from 180. That's a 70, and that's 18 away from 180. Yeah. Quadrant 3, yep. And then when you add them together, they give you 36. Two angles, one positive and one negative, that are coterminal. Oh, wait a minute. I think I did it wrong. So we want... I don't know that this is correct. I'm not... Hold on, I want to look at this some more. Because if we wanted to be coterminal with 36 degrees, that means it needs to finish with 36. So we can do 36. Did we do 360 minus 36? Yeah, I don't know why I added them up to... No, so it seems like you would just do 36 degrees, and then you can do... that's 270. What's 36? I think we just say 36 minus 360. I don't know why I added them up to 36. So 36 and 360, if you subtract, that's a 5. That's 10 minus 6 is 4. 5 minus 3 is 2. 324. So if we did a negative 324 degrees, so it seems like 36 degrees, and then y is a negative 324 degrees. I think that's better. Let's see, x finishes on 36 degrees, and then a negative 324 goes back to 36 degrees. And then if you just convert it to radians. So to convert to radians, so I'm going to strike through this stuff over here. I'm going to let that go, because I think all of this was wrong. Just convert it to radians. So, you know, the first one, if you said times pi over 180 degrees, units of degrees are going to cancel, and let's see what we get. So if we said 36 divided by 180 as a fraction, it should be 1/5 or pi over 5. Okay, so that's going to be pi over 5, right? Then if we said that 324 divided by 180 as a fraction, it's going to be negative 9 pi over 5. This is what I'm gonna stand by this one. So you'd have to check it and update me and let me know. I'm gonna leave the other error though, just so you can see how the thought process goes and the evolution of it all.